Welcome back with our special guest today, Wynne Woodward, and we've been talking about the RN Residency Program at BRMC. Talk to us about, now you said you've got 10, I'm going to call them candidates or new RN residents, and what did they have to go through? Okay, what are some things that you were talking about, how they have mentors and preceptors and debriefers and observers and subject matter experts? I'm looking at my notes here to say and make sure I don't forget anyone. But kind of funnel that down for us, if you would, Wynne, and talk to us about what it is that they go through.
Okay, I'd love to. The residents actually were in a very competitive process. We were actually amazed at how many applications we had for the 10 slots that we had available. We actually had applicants from as far as California that found us through looking for RN residencies, because they really are a hot commodity, especially in the coastal regions. They're very, very popular, and they're very, very competitive and hard to get into. So we were very fortunate to find 10 excellent candidates and look forward to the next process. We'll be looking at that again. We'll be having 2 cohorts per year. There will typically be one cohort that will start around February or March, and a second cohort that'll start in July or August each year. So we'll be going through that again. So they went through not only an application process, but also very strict interviews. We do behavioral-based interview, because we're really looking for the right match of not only just a good nursing student, but we want to make sure they're going to be the right match for our BRMC family, which we know is all about caring and that compassion. So that's what we were really looking for. So without a doubt, we've got the right 10 folks in the seats. We know that. The other training that went on, once those candidates were selected, we did require that they pass boards and had a nursing license in hand prior to onboarding. So these are full-fledged licensed nurses. They've all successfully taken their board certification. So that is behind them.
You got the cream of the crop, didn't
Yes,
you? You made sure that you were watching that cream rise to the top.
Absolutely. So then what we've done to prepare the other folks for their roles is we have had workshops, and Versant has actually been on site with us pretty much weekly for the last 12 to 14 weeks, helping us prepare our current staff to be ready to train the RN residents. So they have come in. We've done workshops for nursing leadership, so that includes everywhere from our CNO, our nurse directors, our clinical coordinators, our charge nurses, so they have a vision of the residency and understand their role in supporting the RN residents. We've also had workshops for the preceptors, the subject matter experts, the mentors, the debriefers, and even the observers. And the observer role I haven't talked about much, but that's the one that'll really be helping us collect our data so we can really clearly see statistically what the impact of the program has been on our residents' confidence and competence.
And is there any way to measure how that's filtering down to all of the others that it's impacting, as far as the preceptors, et cetera, the mentors? Is there a way to capture some of that data as well?
Absolutely. Versant has that built into their structure as well. And the way that they do that is we actually have metrics that we are taking at strategic points throughout the residency. So not only during the 18 weeks, but even up until the first full year after they have been hired on. So from now until next August, different participants in different roles of the program will be evaluating it at all different angles. I like to use the analogy for clinical folks. It's kind of like taking a 12-lead EKG of the heart. A 12-lead EKG looks at the heart rhythm from 12 different angles, from the top, the bottom, the sides, to see everything that's going on so we don't miss anything that's happening inside the heart. It's kind of the same thing that we're doing with the RN residency program and our metrics, is that it's evaluated from every possible angle so that we can make sure that we can just continue to improve, make it better, see what works well, and continue to repeat those things that have worked well.
And I would think that it would also build the team on whatever floor or department that this person is the resident, their resident location, because that way everybody's looking at everything, saying, how does my piece fit into this giant puzzle? And do we need to improve on something, or can we change something that will be just even better for patient care?
Absolutely. In fact, that's one thing I've been doing throughout the month of August, is going to the staff meetings for every department where they'll be receiving residents on their floor and talking to them to make sure. We've been doing weekly updates by email. We've done lots of things in the newsletters to try to make sure the entire organization is aware and on board of where we are in the process of the RN residency. But I wanted that face-to-face conversation with everyone on the floors, because they all do have such a key role. So what we've done is we've gone to each staff meeting. I have talked with them about what it means to be, what the preceptors are up against, the type of assignment the residents needs, the type of support that they need, and also to make sure that they understand some of the key concepts of the RN residency, such as married preceptorship. And the married preceptorship is where the resident and the preceptor are, for lack of a better term, joined at the hip at all times. They are side by side. Many models in the past with training new nurses have consisted of, once we validate you on a couple of skills, we kind of send you off on your own. Let me know if you have some questions, because as I've said, they're licensed nurses. They've been through years of training.
Right.
But with the new model with the RN residency, the married preceptorship, the preceptor will be with them at all times, so that even though they're perfectly competent to perform the skills, the preceptor is there to, again, help foster that clinical reasoning and critical thinking, which we've already stated is so important.
Sure. As my darling husband would say, all knowledge comes from experience, and
Absolutely.
that's why you and there's nothing that beats it.
That's right.
That's what your preceptors, etc., are bringing to the table, are those years of experience and learning things. Hands-on training is oftentimes the best, no matter what you learn from a text or even during your clinicals, that kind of thing. Once you're really there, there's tricks to the trade, as they say.
Absolutely, and we're so thankful to have all of our experienced staff in the variety of roles, and excited to see what they're going to bring to the table and contribute.
Yeah, and boy, have you got a great group. So how many preceptors, mentors, debriefers, subject matter experts, observers? So that's 5, so you've got 10 RN residents. So you've got at least 5 people per resident?
Oh, probably actually more than that. We actually prepared, for the 10 residents, we have prepared 42 preceptors that all have the ability to step into the role. Now the goal is that each resident will only have 2 to 3 preceptors during that 18-week period.
Okay.
We actually, our theoretical model that we use for the RN residency, as well as other initiatives throughout the hospital, such as our competency validation of our experienced staff, is the Patricia Benner novice to expert model. So what that means is that we use it in 2 ways. One, we're looking to bring the residents from the novice or newness of the role to a competent or near competent level by the end of the 18 weeks, which is much faster than we see in other models of nursing orientation where residency program is not used. Many times in the residency, the new graduate nurse will be at that level of advanced beginner to competent within 18 weeks, where many other times outside of a residency model, it takes a full year to reach that same point, which is another great benefit. But the other thing that we want to make sure that we do with our residents is so that they are fostering, they are learning, they are applying that knowledge, and that they have lots of opportunities to continue to ask questions. I think that's the most, and that's what we tell our residents, the most important thing they can do in the next 18 weeks is ask every question we can think of.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you're thinking it, somebody else is thinking it, so ask it.
That's right, and we're already seeing that. This group they're not afraid to ask questions. They're really on the cutting edge. They're out there, and they want to learn, and they have that hunger to learn, and luckily we have the experienced staff that are ready to answer those questions for them and find them their answers.
This is delightful. Tell me where you said that there was a huge competition to get into this program, and where are some of our folks from that are in this?
We actually have folks from several have relocated to the area. We did have applicants from Illinois, California, Missouri. We actually are from a variety of schools. We have graduate nurses from Arkansas State University, Harrison, North Arkansas program. We also have some Missouri State MSU residents as well as a couple of others that were outlying that they had moved into the Arkansas area.
If someone wants to learn more, they go to our baxterregional.org website.
Yes.
Okay. And there will be more classes coming up in the future?
Absolutely. We'll be offering 2 cohorts per year. As I said, the next cohort will really be probably mid-February to early March. We're still looking at the timing of that. 2014. And because the next big group of graduates that we have will be graduating in December of this year, so December of 2013, and they do have to have time to get their boards taken and get their license in hand. So we're trying to very strategically look at that timing, so we're allowing enough time for that to happen, but we also know they're anxious to get to work. So we're going to get them onboarded and in the door as quickly as possible once they have that license in hand.
What a great program, Wynne. This is just
you.
Wonderful. And I can't think of anyone better to be running it. So
thank you. It's been an honor. I've really had a lot of great support.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I know everyone at the hospital is completely behind this program because it's so proven to just produce better nurses.
Absolutely.
And that's always our goal, to take the best care of our patients that we possibly can. As this program expands and continues on, would you come back and visit us again?
I would be happy to. Maybe I could even bring a resident with me next time.
That would be wonderful. Would love that. So thank you so much for joining us today. And if someone wanted to reach you, is there a number they can call?
Absolutely. You can reach me, Wynne Woodward, Residency Coordinator, at 508-1746.
1746. Thank you so much for joining us today for BRMC's Healthy Connections and learning all about the RN residency program, which the hospital is currently offering. And of course, if you want to learn more about the program, go to baxterregional.org on the internet, and we will see you again next week. Wynne, thanks again.
Thank you.